What's up, Gooners? Welcome back to AFC Daily News. Today we've got 4 massive Arsenal stories to bring you with the latest news and updates coming straight from the Emirates. So if you're a passionate Arsenal supporter, you definitely won't want to miss this. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get straight into it. Right, Gooners, this one is fascinating, and it tells you so much about how Berta operates and why he is genuinely one of the best sporting directors in Europe right now. So here is what happened. Barcola's agents, aware that Arsenal have been linked with their client all summer, decided to make the first move. They picked up the phone and called Berta directly. They asked, "Do you want Bradley Barcola?" And what Berta told them reveals everything about his negotiating philosophy. According to Football Transfers, Berta made Arsenal's position crystal clear. They are not meeting PSG's demands. PSG value Barcola at approximately £145 million. Berta's valuation sits between 90 and 95 million. That is a £50 million gap, and Berta is not blinking. He told the agents plainly, if PSG want to do business at our number, we are here. At their number, we are not. Now, I want you to think about what that actually means in the context of this summer. This is the same man who opened negotiations for Guimaraes at 50 million and got him for 75, saving Arsenal £25 million through patience and discipline. He is applying exactly the same philosophy to Barcola. Set your number, hold it, make the other party come to you. Do not let external pressure or fan frustration force you into overpaying for a player simply because you need to respond to missing out on someone else. The complication here is Liverpool. Andoni Iraola's side are reportedly ready to pay up to £103 million for Barcola, a number significantly closer to what PSG are asking. If Liverpool go to that level and PSG accept, Barcola goes to Anfield and Arsenal miss out. That is the risk Berta is accepting by holding firm. But here is the thing. Paying £145 million for a player whose agents are calling you because they want the deal done is not smart business. That is panic buying dressed up as ambition. Berta knows the difference. At 90 to 95 million, he is a very interesting player. At 145 million, he is an absolutely enormous risk. The left-wing question remains open. But Berta is not going to solve it by overpaying. He is going to solve it intelligently. Trust the process, Gooners. So Gooners, is Berta right to hold firm at 90 to 95 million for Barcola and risk losing him to Liverpool? Or do you think Arsenal should match PSG's demands and just get the deal done? Drop everything in the comments right now. This debate is going to be electric. Okay, Gooners, quick one here, but an important one, because Gianluca Di Marzio, one of the most reliable Italian football journalists on the planet, has just reported that Romelu Lukaku is very close to joining Fenerbahce, with the deal truly nearing completion. And for Arsenal, that news is actually very good. Here is why. Lukaku has been at Napoli, occupying a significant chunk of their striker budget and their squad space. The moment he leaves for Turkey, Napoli have the budget and the roster slot to accelerate their pursuit of Gabriel Jesus. And that is exactly what is expected to happen now. Look, we already gave Jesus his proper send-off last video, and I meant every word of it. He was transformative when he arrived. He helped build the culture. He was part of the title win. But the financial reality is brutal and undeniable. £265,000 per week for a player who started 9 Premier League games last season is simply not a sustainable situation for any club, no matter how successful. Getting those wages off the books is worth more to Arsenal's overall financial health than whatever £17 million fee they extract from Napoli. And Jesus himself wants this. He needs regular football. He has the quality to go to Serie A and absolutely thrive. Napoli is a club with real ambition, real history, and a passionate fan base that will welcome a Brazilian striker with open arms. He missed out on the World Cup squad. He wants to play his way back in. Napoli gives him that opportunity. The Lukaku domino is falling. Jesus to Napoli is happening. It is the right outcome for everyone involved. And clearing those wages gives Arsenal financial flexibility in the final weeks of the window that could prove decisive. So Gooners, are you sad to see Gabriel Jesus leave? Or do you think this is the right time for both him and Arsenal to move on? Drop your honest tribute in the comments. Let's give him the send-off he deserves one more time. Right, Gooners, I am going to be very direct with you about this one. Cristian Romero has reportedly decided to join Atletico Madrid instead of Arsenal, and I need you to put down whatever you are holding right now and take a deep breath, because this is genuinely good news. Reports are confirming that Romero has chosen Atletico and Diego Simeone's side, with Tottenham expecting north of £30 million for their Argentine captain. De Zerbi at Spurs has signed new defenders and is willing to let him go, and the destination is Madrid, not North London. Now look, the fan reaction we covered last video was completely justified, and this outcome proves it. Think about what Arsenal would have been taking on. A player whose own former manager, Ange Postecoglou, openly admitted was frightening his own teammates at training. A player whose disciplinary record, unnecessary aggression, reckless challenges, moments of madness in big games, is fundamentally incompatible with the culture Arteta has spent 5 years building. A club that prides itself on 0 red cards last season does not then go and sign a player who averages more cards per season than any other centre-back in the Premier League. And then there is the obvious question that never fully went away. Would Tottenham actually sell to Arsenal? Their stance was reportedly that they have no interest in facilitating that transfer, which means Arsenal would have been pursuing a deal with a club that actively does not want to do business with them for a player who is not good enough to improve the team anyway. That is 3 separate problems in one transfer. Atletico Madrid is the perfect destination for Romero. Simeone loves his aggression, his intensity, his refusal to back down from anyone. He will fit seamlessly into that environment, and Arsenal can focus their energy and their budget on targets who are actually right for this club. Sometimes the best news in a transfer window is the deal that does not happen. This is one of those times. Move on quickly and move on happily. So Gooners, how relieved are you that the Romero to Arsenal situation has died before it ever got properly started? And do you think the fans who pushed back so hard on this one were completely right? Drop your thoughts. I want to know how the community feels about this one. Gooners, I need to address this rumour directly and honestly, because it is doing the rounds and it needs to be killed immediately before it gains any momentum whatsoever. Over the weekend, reports suggested Arsenal are interested in Pedro Neto from Chelsea, who are open to selling him for around £70 million. And because Lewis-Skelly is valued at a similar figure and has reportedly been offered to Premier League rivals, people are starting to connect the dots toward a potential swap deal. Let me be absolutely unambiguous about this. That cannot happen and should not happen under any circumstances. Start with Lewis-Skelly, a 19-year-old who started the Champions League final. A player who was described by Arteta himself as a new signing when he broke into the team in the run-in that delivered the Premier League title. A player whose ceiling, sitting there, visible and extraordinary in every single performance he has produced in the biggest games, is almost impossible to calculate. You do not sell that player to a direct Premier League rival, not at 19. Not for anyone currently available in this window. Not ever at this stage of his development. And then there is Neto. Look, he is not a bad player. He is quick, he is direct, he played 34 of Chelsea's 38 league games last season, so the injury concerns that have followed him throughout his career are perhaps easing. But nothing pops with Pedro Neto. He is not a reliable goalscorer. He does not create moments of individual brilliance that change Champions League games. He fills a gap rather than raising a ceiling, and Arsenal have spent this entire summer pursuing players who raise ceilings. Guimaraes, Vinicius, Alvarez, even Barcola. Settling for Neto while sacrificing Lewis-Skelly would represent such a dramatic failure of ambition that it would be almost unrecognisable as the same club that was in talks to sign the best winger on the planet 3 weeks ago. Here is the real answer to Arsenal's left-wing question if Barcola does not materialise at the right price. Gabriel Martinelli is still here. Eberechi Eze can play out wide in an emergency. Solis has just arrived and needs time. And the window does not close until September the 1st. There is time. There are options, but none of those options involve selling Myles Lewis-Skelly to anyone in the Premier League for any player currently available in this market. That door must stay firmly shut. So Gooners, would you accept a Lewis-Skelly swap deal for Pedro Neto, or is this one of those ideas that should never have left anyone's mouth in the first place? I want every single unfiltered opinion in the comments right now. Alright Gooners, smash that subscribe button right now if you haven't already. Barcola negotiations, Jesus exit, Romero gone to Atletico, and the Lewis-Skelly swap rumour that needed killing. This window is still delivering drama every single day, and you cannot afford to miss a single update. Completely free, hit that button now. Until next time Gooners, come on you Gunners.